Hi, I'm Ajeeth. Today let's learn 15 uncommon words from words you already know. This is to the power of prefixes or root words. Welcome to Capshine. It's a revolutionary learn it together English fluency program that is easy, quick, fun, affordable and effective. Through Capshine, you're sure to be a whole new you in 6 months or less. Let's look at these words and see what we can learn from them. So one thing that you need to know about English words is that many of them use something called prefixes. For example, in, capable, incapable, right? And these prefixes can be added to words and that can change the meaning of the word. You might be aware that in usually means not or cannot, but did you also know that it could mean something at a higher level? This is something that we may not know as often as this. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to see some simple words and see how we can add the prefix in to learn new words that you may not have heard about before. Let's start with some examples where in is used to mean a higher degree of. You must have heard of flammable. It has the word flame, means to catch flame. Flammable means that it can burn. Did you know that inflammable also means that? Right? It does not mean not flammable. It means it can burn at a very high rate and at very quickly without much effort. And this is why you would see a lot of these big tankers with this warning sign saying highly inflammable, keep away. That's what it means, that it's very, very quickly flammable. Inflammable, something that catches fire very easily. Let's look at another example. We know famous. It's a good thing to be famous, to be popular, everyone knows you. But did you know that if you're infamous, that's not a good thing? For example, after the scandal and the news about Vijay Mallya, he became infamous for looting money and getting away from the country. Infamous, to become famous for all the wrong things. Another word for this is notorious. Infamous. You've all heard of the word genius. You know what it means. Someone who is very smart, who has a high IQ, who's intelligent. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything creative with your life. The word ingenious means this though. Someone who is able to take their intelligence and do something with it. These are very creative people. They can get things done. A few examples. Steve Jobs was ingenious. Elon Musk is ingenious. If you've watched Game of Thrones, Tyrion Lannister, the short person, he was ingenious too. He could get anything done. Ingenious. It doesn't mean not genius. It means extremely so, extremely smart. Which reminds me, you would be ingenious to make use of Capshine's 30-day free membership. With this, you would get speaking opportunities to practice with people just like you so that you can become a more fluent speaker. You get monthly reports to know exactly where you are at any point. And of course, personalized coaches and feedback from personalized coaches to let you know where you are and how you can get to the next level in your English fluency. Of course, to help you with your foundations, you get daily micro lessons and live classes where you will learn the basics and foundations of grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and a bunch of other things that can make you into a very, very powerful speaker. Great, let's move on to the next word. Subordinate. We probably know what this word means. A subordinate to someone who is lower than us in rank or status. While we know that, did you know what insubordinate means? Insubordinate as an adjective describes someone who is disrespectful to their superiors. So I could say Rahul was fired from the Navy because he was insubordinate to his commander. Right? To be disrespectful to someone higher up than you. Insubordinate. There is also another fun word. Subordination. Right? This is a noun. What that means is that you lower yourself to someone else. You give the other person superiority, and that is what subordination means. Again, subordinate, insubordinate, and subordination. We all know what number means, right? But did you know what enumerate means? Have you heard of illiterate? Well, it's very similar to that. If someone is enumerate, then they don't understand numbers. And you might ask me, how can someone not understand numbers? Well, you could use it in a more playful way. For example, I am quite enumerate. Every time I try to recite the multiplication tables, I still make mistakes. And I'm a grown adult, right? Enumerate. There are a few other words with the word or the root number in them. For example, you must have heard about numerous, right? There are numerous reasons why practicing English is very important for fluency, right? You could also say enumerate. This essentially means to give a number of reasons or to count something and show the number of things that exist there. Could you enumerate the reasons for why you need to build vocabulary? I'm sure you have your reasons. Defend. We've heard this word before. But what is something that is indefensible? Well, if something is indefensible, it cannot be defended. For example, your friend says a terrible joke that's very racist or very, it's saying bad things about other people, then you could call that an indefensible joke, where you cannot defend him, it's not funny, there's no justification for why he or she should say it. If you've been following the US politics for the last few years, you know the person I'm talking about, he speaks a lot of indefensible things, or he does a lot of things that are indefensible. Think orange. Animate. We've seen animations. When something is animate, it's full of life. An animation is when something is given life. It moves around, right? When something is animate, it is full of life. On the other hand, when something is inanimate, it's without life, right? You could say a chair is an inanimate object. Or you could say Rahul was so sick after his first vaccine shot that we thought that he had been inanimate for too long. We had to check if he's still alive. I know, Rahul was fine though. Suffer. We know what suffer means. But what does insufferable mean? If someone is being insufferable, for example, your friend keeps correcting your English every single time you make even the slightest mistake, then he's being insufferable. You cannot tolerate his behavior anymore, right? Or you're at a meeting where it's going nowhere and you just cannot sit there anymore. Then the meeting has become insufferable. You cannot put up with it anymore. It's just not possible to go along with it anymore. Insufferable. Doubt. We know what this means. And there are a few fancy words that you can learn from doubt. The same root doubt is used in indubitable and of course dubitable. And another fancy word called dubious. Right? So let me start with indubitable. Indubitable means you cannot doubt something, or you're not able to doubt something. That he is good in math is indubitable. Obviously, you wouldn't say that about me, but if someone is really good at math, you'd say that that is indubitable, something that you cannot doubt. That the earth revolves around the sun is an indubitable fact. There's enough proof that we know that's the truth. Dubitable then means something that is doubtable. If I say that I did my PhD in mathematics, that's definitely dubitable, right? Especially if you've met me. Dubious is full of, OUS is full of. If something is dubious, it's essentially full of doubt. For example, it's very dubious if the third wave is going to happen or not, or if the offices will open up the next month or not. Dubious, uncertain, full of doubt. Great. What you shouldn't have any doubt about is whether the Capshine learning program will work for you. Do check out capshine.com and download the app to get your 30-day free trial. It's absolutely free. It's a complete no-brainer. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thank you for sticking around.